Welcome back, everyone. Yes, it's the safe space. And I promise, I won't be triggered today. No, none of that. Thank you all for tuning in. Yes, I see you all turning up in the chat room. We've got Nana back in there. Nana, it is fantastic to see you in there. We have got Jojo, Mama, Susie, Austin. Who else we got sneaking in here at the end? Yes, we've got Greg. Great to see you. Jojo's. Armand. Indeed. Absolutely no trustees of the fake plan in here. Sorry, we don't talk in codes and riddles and trust faceless people from 4chan. Wrong chat, wrong stream. Read the sign on the safe space. There will be no single letters of the alphabet talked about in here. Oh, hell no. Yes, indeed. How are we all doing? Welcome back. Another safe space. Normal safe space rules apply, folks. We have got the loud music jumping in there. No, we've got the safe space finger paints up the back. We've got jazz hands. If anyone wants to applaud anything that happens, either here or probably more likely something good will happen in the chat room. There's always something good going on in the chat room. But yes, this is where we retire to. We try to once every day during the week, retire to the safe space so we can have a laugh, so we can take a look through our bulletproof windows at the insanity that is unfolding out there in Woketopia. And yet, there was me thinking, right, I should have known. I thought I was coming up with something completely unique, something completely new when I was calling it Woketopia. Went and Googled Woketopia. Dang, we could do a full show on the subject of Woketopia. Yes, indeedy. That might make good for a good subject tomorrow, maybe next week. I don't know. But today I'm going to get into some technological stuff. I know it's a bit geeky, but it affects all of us, folks. And I tell you, these things are moving at a breakneck speed. But before we get there, let me head on over to the chat room to give a shout out to all of you people who've turned up today to see yours truly. Yes, indeed. Billy says she's going to spend the show driving again. I'll try not to make you laugh too much. And Billy, I don't know if you were here for the story that led to us getting the hairy hands emoji in the chat room. You see the hairy hands that Austin posted? Yet those hairy hands, seemingly when you're driving, you need to watch out for a big set of hairy hands coming and grabbing the steering wheel. Not that I want to put you off driving or anything, Billy. I wouldn't do that, right? I'm only joking. But yeah, not joking about the hairy hands, actually. So then, we have got Mart. Good to see you in there. We'll get some music on for giving a little shout out to the chat room. We're going to be looking forward to the show later on today as well. I've been in full chill out mode today, and it's kind of been getting ready for tonight. It's always a big show when Bill Bean's on. We're going to talk about that in a moment. We'll get into it. But wait till I change the size of this chat room. It's done it again. Just noticed that. There we go. Let's see. That should be it now, I think. Probably too small now. We'll see. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so who else is in there? We've got... I better scroll up the way, actually. Get my cleaning rag out the way so we're not looking at that. There we go. We've got our little stress ball down there that Fred sent through. We're jamming. We're almost ready to go. I've got coffee. Need music. Need a bit of music, right? Let's see. Bit of techie stuff. Yeah, that'll do. A little bit of that in the background, you know. Right, and so who we got here in the chat room? I'll scroll up to the top as far as I can go. So we've got somebody called Estella. Great to see you here. We've got Kit, Jojo's, Susie, Susie's been away feeding the Grandwain and cuddling it and smothering it, and you know the kind of things that grandmas get up to. And she made it back just in time for the show. You see, that's how we roll here on KBS. And before I forget, we might have somebody lurking out there in the background. I can feel that I'm being watched, and that's really apt for today's show, because we're going to get into surveillance state and Facebook and facial recognition and the technological side to Woketopia, because Woketopia isn't just the madness that we see with all the kind of stories I usually get triggered at. No, there's various layers to it, and this technological layer that has been rolled out right now, right as we speak, you know, this is absolutely critical to maintaining the kind of madness that we see in Woketopia. I'll explain more, but I can feel myself being watched. Yes. And it's not by all of you out there in the chat room. It's somebody lurking at work. Anne Craney, I can feel you watching me. It's like you've got this kind of quantum connection thing. So yes, folks, Anne is watching right now. There's her shoes on the ready. Maybe she'll digitally throw a shoe at me. I don't know. But yeah, big shout out to Annie, who's, I would say hard at work, but obviously not if you're sitting watching me, right? Craziness. I don't know. What a job you've got. We've got Chuck Bam Bam in there, the man that is running for president with the VP is going to be the dog man. Yes, indeed. Queen Goddess, Armand, scrolling down the dude, listening at work. Good stuff. GG. Let's see. Michael might have done that one. ZX81, best computer in the world back in the day. Legend, how you doing, brother? Can't wait for the game tomorrow night, man. It's going to be a belter, an absolute belter. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I like my football, or as you Americans say, soccer. Yes, indeed. Mike, big shout out to you. And we're scrolling down. Harriet, good to see you as well. We'll be chipped soon. Yeah, there's people getting chipped already. That's the worst thing, right? David, I don't mention that letter of the alphabet because it was nothing. Covered it on the show. Absolutely destroyed. People came on and explained exactly what it was, and it was nothing near what the people still buying into it think it is. So that's why I don't do that one. Where do we go down? Getting there, we're getting there. First world problems, there you are, brother. Getting worried about you there. Thought some Ooga Boogas had come and got you. Jason, you looking forward to tonight? Bill being on? Yes, indeedy. Somebody's lurking. Yes, indeed. I feel you, Anne. I feel you. Spartan Spirit, Fred Doe. So Anne is making money while Kev spends it on radio shows. It's a kind of quantum connection we've got, Fred. Yeah, don't give her any more ammunition than she's got. Please don't. Please don't, dude. You know if it wasn't for, like, other things going on, I'd be out there working like a dog, still doing my security work. I'd probably still be making videos on the fly when I was doing patrols. Do you remember all that? That was crazy times, man. I'd have to, like, go away to the toilet and make videos and crazy times. But yeah, I never ever thought back then that we would end up in crazy times like we are today. And I put in the title of today's show that we're being assimilated. You know, that term, the assimilation, part of the Borg, the hive mind. And sometimes that can sound really kind of overhyped and overtalked at times. But then there's stories that come out that you read and you think, wow, that's exactly where we're going. And even sometimes when I've been projecting into the future when it comes to surveillance and all of the kind of police state stuff, and bearing in mind I worked in security for like 19 years, 18 years, and the army before that, you know, at times, even when I was talking about it, I used to think, nah, it probably won't get as bad as that. And by as bad as that, I mean things like Minority Report, pre-crime, that level of technological kind of surveillance and absolutely omnipresent police state presence, because that's what you're talking about when you get to this kind of stage. And Facebook in the real world, away from Minority Reports and what we've seen with the predictive programming, when it comes to the sci-fi and it comes to this stuff, they were definitely showing us what's coming down the road. But Facebook, Facebook, when you look at our real world today, you look at the power of that one website, and you can see how from the amassing of the data that they've collected on all of us, they've really gained and amassed so much power, and they hold so high a position in this kind of merger that we've seen between the governments and the techno kind of giants over in Silicon Valley as they're pimping out this new system, right? So that's why I always try and keep an eye on what Facebook are doing, because away from just being a social media platform, we've seen them talking about cryptocurrencies, things like this. So we can see how Facebook are positioned to be something really, really important in this future that we're moving into. Love it or hate it, they're going to be going beyond, above and beyond, just being that social media platform that we all thought it was when we all innocently signed up so we could find some of our school friends that we hadn't seen for years, or so we could connect with family members. And I'm not criticizing that. It allows me to speak to my family, who I don't live with. So they're up the north of Scotland. I'm down here. One button, I can be speaking to my mum on a camera. So I'm not knocking all of it, okay? And I'm not criticizing us for blindly being corralled into the Facebook sheep pen. But we're there now. So it's good to watch what they're doing. And there was a story yesterday came up, and I was really hoping to get it on the show last night, but then we took calls, and calls were amazing, again, as usual. But I think this is really important to look at, because I think this is a really big piece of the picture, a big piece of the puzzle, a big piece of the kind of infrastructure that's been built out, and as I like to call it, pimped out right now. Because we look at social credit or social scoring systems, social credit scoring systems, call it what you may over in China. And we often talk about how that is coming our way sometime soon. And it's David Icke. I'm a student of David Icke, and he says, when you know where they're taking you, if you know the outcome, you'll see the journey. So if we project that one day we are going to get this social credit scoring system, then there's going to be various things that happen to take us there. We're not just going to wake up one morning and it's going to go live, okay? There's going to be little incremental steps to take us to basically where China is right now. And you bet your bottom dollar that Facebook are right at the heart of it. And get a load of this, because this is where the Facebook recognition comes into it. Facebook is testing a new account verification system which asks its users to record video selfies to prove that they're real people. Now, you talk about a big step towards some kind of internet ID, folks, then here it is. And again, another major, major piece of any future social credit scoring system, when they can assign your face to absolutely everything. And they can basically do that where they are right now. But I think the important part of this is to see just how well-placed Facebook are. Not that I'm sure all of you out there don't realize just how powerful they are. And they're powerful because of the data. And never forget where the origins of Facebook come from. Scotty Lopez, I remember nearly falling off the chair one night when he brought up the Pentagon program called LifeLog. And LifeLog was something, and I can't remember the date, but it was a Pentagon program that, by all means, it was just absolutely a social media platform. It was for data gathering. So people would hand over willingly data that we would never have dared make public in the past. Well, that program wrapped up one day, and then on that very same day, just coincidentally, Mark Zuckerberg started the Facebook. So we know that there's a tie there anyway into governments. That's why they're important to watch. But this stuff here, this is getting crazy. It says Facebook has been secretly experimenting with a new account verification system that asks users to take a video selfie of themselves to prove they're a real person. Now, the new measure, which is currently in limited testing, asks users to hold their phone up at eye level with the camera enabled and then fit their faces in a circular frame that appears on the screen. And we're probably all used to doing that from using like face mask technology when we're on Snapchat or photos or some kind of app that does fancy things to your face, you know. So we've all kind of already been normalized into this whole procedure. iPhones now, some of them you can open with your face. Facial recognition, it's going to be the thing. And the only thing is they're going to dress it up as being for your security. It's to keep your account safe. But in reality, we know it's more, so much more. In fact, it's tremendously much more than just keeping our account safe. Our account has already been scraped and scanned by the algorithms as it is. And we can see that the people that we need to keep it safe from would be the Zuckerbergs of this world. Yet there we all are, corralled into the Facebook pen. But like I say, it gets so much more worse than this, okay? Because I'll show you just how far down the line we already are. Yeah, they're talking about this as if we're just rolling it out. But as you're going to see a couple of stories from now, bang. This is, it's everything we've been speaking about. It's confirmation. It always ends up, you know, the stuff that we speculate, especially with technology, doesn't take too long for confirmation to come in the real world. And then it moves from being speculation to fact. So it says here, the new measure, which is currently in limited testing, we've done that. Users then record a video selfie following prompts to ask them to look straight ahead, to the right, to the left, and then straight ahead again. So it's almost like you're at the... See when you get arrested for something, or when you're down at like the police, wherever you go? Isn't that like doing your mugshots? Talk about openly putting us in the Facebook panopticon, eh? We don't even see the bars around us, folks. We're going to be sitting there taking our own digital mugshots for our digital wardens. You couldn't make it up. So it says here, this helps us confirm your identity and check that you're a real person. An in-app message from Facebook says at the beginning of the process. Now, there is a case to be made that with advancements in AI, and we've seen the one that can basically write articles on the fly, you just give it a paragraph and it completes the rest. You know, I dare say there is actually a problem with Facebook and any website out there with the amount of bot accounts that probably do try and sign up to it. And again, everything, you know, it's multifaceted. So there will be an aspect of this facial recognition thing, and there will be at Facebook people there that think they're truly just working on something to combat the rise of the fake accounts that are trying to sign up. But again, it's like an onion, right? We know it goes far, far deeper than that. We're going to show how it probably ties into the military-industrial complex in a minute as well. Yeah, absolutely. We're going full woo. Absolutely. Why not? The new feature. Let's see. This helps us confirm, yep. The app promises that no one else will see the video. Facebook, come on. Cambridge Analytica, anyone? But it doesn't specify who actually will be allowed to see it either. And that there's really important, right? Because that then, you could argue, may, I'm not saying will, but may be used to compile some kind of government database as well then, right? They're not specific about who's seen it. So Facebook says the video will be deleted 30 days after the user's identity had been confirmed. Yeah, sure. The new feature was spotted by Jane Machin Wong, a Hong Kong-based developer famous for her work reverse engineering apps to discover new features buried in the source code. So this is already in there, folks. It's already in there. Now, Facebook hasn't publicly announced the testing program or acknowledged plans for the move, plans to move the feature to a wider release. In 2017, Facebook began using a similar feature that asked users to verify their accounts by uploading a photo of their driver's license. And I remember doing that. Excuse me. I remember having to do that for Facebook. Popeye had to do it for Facebook as well. Because funnily enough, they didn't believe his name was Popeye. Imagine, go figure. But yeah, the point of me bringing all of this up is Facebook. We really, really have to start appreciating just what Facebook is. And again, sorry, it's preaching to the choir here, I get it. But this is so much more. In fact, it's nothing to do with being a social media or a social networking platform anymore. It is purely, absolutely purely a data mining operation. And all of that data very soon, and right now even as well, is going to be used against us. And facial recognition to keep you safe, really? Do you feel safer sending Mark Zuckerberg and the team a little selfie video? Do you? Really? And then there's other weird stuff going on as well at Facebook before we get into the ties into the military-industrial complex and just how big this problem already is. You see, when it comes to our faces and facial recognition, we pretty much pimped out the system ourselves. Remember when we used to tag ourselves? Used to think it was a really novel idea. Remember at work, you know, I'd be saying to somebody, they'd say to me, look at that. Facebook's recognised you. It's asking me if that's you there, and vice versa. And we'd think that was pretty cool. Before I knew then what I know now, you know. So, yeah, we did. We pimped this system out ourselves. But what's going on at Facebook? Because this is a bit of a weird one. I think it's weird anyway. Facebook changes its logo to avoid confusion with Facebook. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm already bloody confused, okay? And there's Facebook, again, I'm not getting triggered today, okay? I love Facebook. That's why I barely use it. The company Facebook, which owns the social media network Facebook, wants users to realize that there's a difference between the two. So there's the actual, and I'd never seen that logo for Facebook myself. I'd always been used to the big F, the blue and white, the F symbol. You know, not to be mistaken with the 17th letter of the alphabet. We'll talk about F on here. That's okay. We do F-bombs, we do Facebook, we do... I'm just being stupid, folks. Facebook, the company behind the social media platform, also called Facebook. Well, again, see, this isn't confusing. How can you even do that? Does that mean I can just go out there and name a company Coca-Cola? I thought there was like trademarks and things like that. Surely if it had a different name, that would clear up the ambiguity, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer, surely. If there's a confusion here, which obviously there is, okay? If you've got two Kevins, it can get confusing in the house. Trust me, I live that life every day. Why I allowed my son to be called the same name as me? It seemed a good idea at the time, and Anne was pretty adamant about it. But I can get where Facebook are coming from here. It is. You know, you get misidentified half of the time. And that can be a true problem, right? Especially in this day and age. But it says it wants to avoid being confused with Facebook. But instead of changing its name, like Google did to Alphabet, yeah, exactly, it's changed its logo. So the new logo is still just the word Facebook, but it's capitalized, where the social media platform's logo is in lowercase. An animated image released by the company shows the logos in various colors. Every color of the rainbow, of course, Facebook, distancing it a little from the blue of the main Facebook platform, which the company is increasingly describing as an app. So yes, I know. If you're confused at this point, wondering what the hell are Facebook up to, I don't know. I really don't know. And there's one other thing I want to bring up about Facebook before we move into the other bigger stuff, the actual bigger piece of the puzzle when it comes to facial recognition and this kind of technological police state that they're building out right now. And it is a police state. Remember, it's not to look after us, folks. It's to control us. That's what all this data has been amassed for. But I thought this might be quite funny to look at before we get into the other stuff. See if we go back to the intro here. Now, obviously, we've got what appears to be a young lady being scanned. And because I was very, very keen to protect her privacy, although it's a stock photo and she's here, there, everywhere, I obviously redacted her eyes and tried to keep a bit of her anonymity attached, okay? But if you look up in the right-hand corner, look at this, eh? Oh, the pesky AI. Look at it. It says number, one person. Gender, female. Oh, did it jump the gun? You see, as Woketopia gets, the AI that they're creating to rule over us all, it doesn't give two hoots about what somebody may identify as from day to day. And you won't ever catch that facial recognition part of the AI software playing the gender Olympics and the pronoun nonsense that we all have to play on every single minute of every single day. And it will absolutely determine somebody's gender upon their biological and physical appearance. You know, just the same way as we've done for absolutely ever. Just saying. So, yeah, Woketopians. Now, that's not to say that just one step further down the line, once your face has been recognised, it's obviously going to then unlock and gain access to all of your social media data, all of your geographical GPS data, all of the people you're connected to. And at that point, instantaneously, if you're identifying as a penguin, it's going to say their gender, penguin, okay? So it won't take long for the first layer of AI to be corrected. The misogynist, very specific kind of facial recognition package. Yes, indeed. Can we call facial recognition toxic? Toxic recognition. Oh, please. I need some way to trigger people. Please, please. Can we? I'm only joking, folks, but I thought that might be a nice way to kind of lighten the load here. Because when you think about this, this really is very important. And I know I like to have a laugh and a joke and everything else, but you know the Kev Baker show. I've always been really proud of the fact that we try to stay ahead of the kind of technological curve. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I've told you all this stuff's coming. But again, I'm quite shocked right now to see just where we are. And it wasn't Facebook that I found quite disturbing, them getting in on the act of facial recognition. And bear in mind, in December this year, just next month in China, and China's a place we always look to when it comes to this stuff, but any citizen over there wanting to use the internet will have to sign in with facial recognition. And to be able to be put on the database, they have to go to their local government building and get scanned for that. You see how maybe people in the West wouldn't actually accept going down to like their local government building and getting scanned. But I tell you what we will do, absolutely unquestioningly, is we'll do it for Facebook. See how it works? It's like the boiling frogs, folks. We're not really noticing, or a lot of people, the majority of people, are not noticing what's been pimped out and built out round about them. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I love all the technology. I love the gaming. I love it. But at the same time, I see exactly what it's been used for on another level as well. And I was saying perhaps there's connections you could make between Facebook, governments, military-industrial complex. If there is or there isn't, we can speculate. But I'll tell you something we can prove. That is that the US military are one of the biggest players when it comes to facial recognition. The US military. And you're thinking, well, yeah, they're probably scanning all these faces in foreign countries. You know how all these countries are determined to pick wars with America and things. So, you know, potential bad people, Kev, that makes sense. That keeps us safe at home. But what if I was to tell you it goes so much further than that? I've often talked about the good time I had over in MacDill Air Force Base when I was on exercise with the US military and loved it, absolutely loved it. Until today, when I realised maybe I've been a victim of this as well. Because that was the time when I first got shown what the internet was all about back in the 90s, before it was out to the world and the internet. And at the same time, you know, we were doing a lot of work on satcoms and technology kind of stuff. And then today I learn, as we're going to see here, It's not just potential enemies that the American military have been using for facial recognition and for training their machine learning facial recognition programs. No, it's people like me as well. Yeah, they've been scanning the faces of their allies. And I do wonder how much coercion there or how much of a connection there is between, like I say, Facebook, throw in Twitter here, military industrial complex, governments. I'd love to have the paperwork lined out here and say it's definitely there. I'm confident in my mind these things are all connected. They're all one and the same. You can't put a cigarette paper in between one and the other. They're all the same thing, folks, and look at that. This is how the US military's massive facial recognition system works. And it goes on to say here, over the last 15 years, the US military has developed a new addition to its arsenal. The weapon is deployed around the world, largely invisible, and grows more powerful by the day. And that weapon is a vast database packed with millions of images of faces, irises, fingerprints, and DNA data. A biometric dragnet who has come in contact with the US military abroad. So the 7.4 million identities in the database range from suspected terrorists in active military zones to allied soldiers training with US forces. Quote, denying our adversaries anonymity allows us to focus on lethality. Dang, that's cold, eh? It's like ripping the camouflage netting off the enemy ammunition dump, wrote Glenn Crizzy, director of the Defense Forensics and Biometrics Agency. The fact we're even living in a world where that department is a thing, the Defense Forensics and Biometrics Agency, I'd never even heard of that before. So, in notes obtained by 10, so the Defense Forensics and Biometrics Agency, DFBA, is tasked with overseeing the database known officially as the Automated Biometric Information System, ABIS or ABIS. Now, I bet you folks it goes a lot further than 7.4 million identities. That's the ones that they're letting us know about. You have to imagine that it's a lot bigger than that. And then, think of the information sharing that will go on with some of the allies. Not all of the information, but just enough of it to make it look like you're playing ball, right? I'm not just saying that about America. It's all the countries involved. Britain, Australia, China. Well, no, not China in this case, probably. You get my drift, right? Germany, France, Israel. They'll be into it too. And of course, with Israel, they play a really important part in all of this as well, because you'll find a lot of the security companies, a lot of the smart city companies that are watching all of the data and amassing it, just like Glasgow here, it all goes back to Tel Aviv. See how it all kind of starts to link together and our assimilation into this hive mind thing that I'm talking about? It's a whole lot closer than probably a lot of us even appreciate. People in the chat room at the start of the show, they were talking rightly about the microchips. I don't know if what would you do? And here's a question for the chat room, okay? Here's a question for the chat room. And I'll come to the chat to see what people are saying in the chat in a minute, but what if you're doing a job, you love your job, you grew up your whole life wanting to do it, and then all of a sudden, whatever your job is, it doesn't matter what your job is, but you're told by your bosses, listen, you have to get a microchip put under your skin so that you can open doors and use the printer and all the things that we see being touted over in Sweden and countries like that are really adopting this fast. What do you do? Now, bear in mind, you can be the white knight. You can, I'm out of there. But you've also got a family to feed. You've got a house that you need to pay the mortgage on, and you've got no certainty that you can walk straight into another job. Maybe something's wrong with your partner. Maybe they can't work. Maybe you're the only person bringing money in. What a position you're in then, eh? Do you take the chip despite everything? And it would have to be down to a very personal choice. And I certainly wouldn't be able to criticize anyone for the decision they make. Because until you walk in their shoes, you don't know. And what a sneaky damn way to get people to take it as well, right? You know, probably if you just put it out there, people volunteer for it. There's not going to be a high kind of take up rate. Maybe the odd early adapter, but it's not going to take off exponentially. But if you put people in a position like that where they have to get it, so that then if they don't get it, they can't make money, potentially. And with all this facial recognition and stuff as well, and microchips and everything else, I really do think that the social credit scoring thing that we see in China, that's easily going to be coming our way, right? One way, shape, or form. Maybe not quite as in your face as the Chinese. Like I say, instead of making the citizens of America and the UK go down to the local government building to get their face scanned, no, they get Facebook to say, we're going to do facial recognition. You're going to need to do this to prove that you're not a bot, and everyone will do it. Look at this is awesome. Just like you would do at a police station, you'll take your mugshot, you'll turn left, turn right. Probably soon you'll just spit on the screen and it'll give them your DNA. And there'll be people willing to do it. There'll be people willing to do it, folks. That's the worst of it. But you can definitely see this coming. And what does a social credit scoring system mean? Why should I care, Kev? Because it'll affect your ability to travel. Might affect your ability to conduct commerce, buy and sell. Healthcare. Maybe you won't be allowed the medication that somebody on a better citizen score can get. Maybe you won't even be allowed to work. Maybe you have to report for community service once a week, you know, pay off your bad citizenry debt. That's the kind of thing that it can be used for. It can really control you. And if there's anything that we've learned, we can disagree over belief systems. We can agree to disagree over cryptids, the shape of the planet, anything at all, right? But we know that this crazy bunch of asshats that are running the planet, they ain't got any plans on giving up their control soon. And in fact, you can see how they're going for broke. And if they're going for broke that way, then you absolutely know things like this are on the path to that kind of goal. So yeah, it's weird times. It's the best of times. And in the end of the day, aren't we already all scanned anyway? Many times I get caught by a camera when I go through Glasgow now that it's a smart city. Every single angle of me, from above, probably down waist height, everywhere. So do you really even need to go through the process of scanning your face for them to have a full 360 of you? I don't think so. It's almost as if they're making us just go through that process like the prisoners we are. And we don't even know it. Prisoners with digital bars that we can't even see. It's got to be the most clever prison system in the world, where you trick the people inside it to actually not only endorse but worship the kind of technology that builds the prison we're in that we don't know about. It's insane, folks. It's truly insane. So let's go to the chat room. Chat room, let's see what people are saying. Then we'll get into some... let's see what else I've got here. Yeah, this is something I've got, actually, before we go to the chat room. I can't show you the video, right? I can show you a screenshot of it. But I don't put this out there for fear or hype or sensation or anything like that. But I was listening to Clyde Lewis, and I heard this over on Clyde Lewis's show. And the video itself is called "The United Nations Takes Over a Utah Facility and Claims It's International Territory," right? So I can't play the video because it's licensed. Somebody's seen it's going viral, and that's what happens sometimes. Person who makes it, that they'll give it to the viral company and they'll get so much from the ads, okay? So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to play the first 30 seconds or so, the audio, so you can hear what's going on here. And I'm sure people like Just a Guy in the chat room and anyone else over in America, maybe you know more about this. Maybe you are well aware. Maybe like it's got a perfectly harmless explanation. But just take a listen to this, folks.
Is it okay you turn off the camera and then we speak?
Oh, turn off the camera?
Yeah.
Do I not have a right to have the camera?
I'm not giving you permission to check my face, so...
Okay, are you a public servant
I'm
or?
United Nations Security Officer.
Okay. Does
Okay.
this is my city, and so I have a right to film
This is United Nations compound?
on a
United
United
Nations.
Nations compound?
Yes.
This is a compound?
Yeah. Since Sunday evening, we took over this compound. This is international territory. When you step outside, it's US. Here is international territory. This is UN compound.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. Say, you see this individual in the blue shirt here telling the person who's filming that this isn't the US. This is an international territory. It's the UN here. I've got no idea what's going on. I was listening to a bit of Clyde Lewis's show talking about it. I still need to hear the end of Clyde's show. But, you know, when you're talking about building out this kind of police state and everything else, and I know there's always been talk of, like, UN takeovers for America for years, but like I say, maybe this is nothing. I don't know. I'm hoping that people out there in the chat know exactly what it's about. It's in Utah, Mr. D-Ball Money. Yeah. That's what it is, and go to the website here. UN takes over Utah tax-funded venue. Come on. Claims it's international territory, and it comes from the 27th of October. So yeah, says in the first United Nations conference outside New York City in the United States of America, the UN took over the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City, Utah, and claimed it was international territory. In the process, they were shutting down journalists' rights to video. And on August 26th, 27th, 28th of 2019, the United Nations procured the venue of Salt Palace in downtown Salt Lake City for a conference. The UN state legislature provided $650,000 for the conference. However, as a journalist attempted to video the conference, specifically one of the security personnel, who is clearly a foreigner, she was told she didn't have permission to video the woman's face, and the Salt Palace was designated international territory. So they take a look at this report from Defending Utah. In fact, this was referred to not as Salt Palace, but as a compound. The UN say they took over the building. The UN stated that the taxpayer-funded Salt Palace was now international territory, where US rights don't apply. The UN stated that the United States was outside the doors of the Salt Palace, and the UN, who at best should have been a guest of Salt Lake, instead acted like an invader and denied a US citizen their First Amendment rights. So according to Defending Utah, during the conference, so this was back in August time, folks, and I heard Clyde talking about this, and it's the fact that this Defending Utah, they'd been going through all the footage that they had amassed when they were kind of dealing with this, and this is it just coming out now kind of thing. So it says, during the conference, pushing the UN's anti-family, anti-property rights, anti-American Agenda 2030, journalists covering the event were confronted by UN officers. I spoke with Defending Utah co-founder Ben McClintock via phone, and he told me that in addition to the $650,000, the state legislature provided, Salt Lake City chipped in another $100,000 or so for the event. So consider it, all of it, taxpayer money, including the money used to build and maintain Salt Palace. See, I'll drop that in the chat room. Might be something for you American people to check out. Yeah, somebody shouting New World Order. I mean, that's the kind of thing I remember people talking about, like way back in the day, like way years ago, like UN coming in and taking over cities, and just a guy saying Agenda 2030. Same plan they've always pushed. Justa, do you know if this was some kind of real thing, or was it like some kind of psyop-y thing that was going on? Because I know you keep your eye on that kind of stuff. And when I say a psyop-y kind of thing, folks, I mean maybe just this whole kind of See how people react when somebody does come into the country and say, oh, hell no. Chuck Bam Bam. I imagine Agenda 2030 must be good for dogmen if you're saying it's good for us, Chuck Bam. Edward says it's terrible. Absolutely. Yeah. Same plan written up. Lisa says it's real. Okay. Like I say, Lisa, I'm just kind of new coming to this. They can write down anything they want. Universal law stands above it all. I know, that sounds good, but see when they're dragging you off, kicking and screaming. I'm only joking. Miss Space Cake. It's great to see you. UN taking over all historical sites and state parks slowly, says Just a Guy. America is having a cold war between the people and the government. Do you think so, Robin? Sometimes I think it feels like that because the media kind of amplify it, but then you talk to a lot of Americans and they'll tell you they don't even see it. So it's hard to make out, but then again, wasn't it the War of Independence started with 2% of the population? So it doesn't take a lot of people to get something going, so yeah. Yeah, Jason, first foreigner to tell me what I can and can't gets me arrested. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm really with you. A Baker bunker, says Nana. Yes, indeed. We're in the Baker bunker. Do you like the Baker bunker? I like this. It's kind of cool. So what else we got in the chat room? Utah's run by Mormons. Yeah, it's a big Mormon state, right? That's where it all kind of springs out of. Jason says, check out what happens to the UK forces on the 1st of November. Oh, you're going to trigger me, aren't you? Let's see what this says then. Okay, so it says, accusations the UK will lose control. That won't happen, dude. Don't you worry about it. And if this is the... Let's see where it sources it from. As UNN reported, there was a highly successful veterans demo on Saturday called Operation Zulu in central London. The veterans were protesting against the treatment of British soldiers in Northern Ireland. One of those involved in the demonstration and a well-known face in veteran circles is Simon Bean, MBE. And last night he made a video that has since gone viral on Facebook and YouTube that states in an annotated version, this is a call to Boris Johnson. Letters have been received by General Riley and Admiral Sir Roger Lane. On November the 1st, Europe will take control of our entire military and security services. Now, I will imagine, you see, there's not a link. Mr. Bean's statement, you can link to it there. You know why I'm kind of a little bit cynical or a little bit skeptical on this, Jason? Because I've seen this playing out before. Not with this character, but this has happened before. And the fact that this has no link to anything to show you where Simon Bean issues apology over EU army integration. So hang on a minute. This came out on the September the 30th, and on the same day, further to this morning's article on the accusations made by Mr. Bean, he has just made a live stream where he paraphrases, I need to make a public apology to General Riley and Admiral Sir Roger Lane Knott. They did not receive any letters, but rather they received details of a meeting at the Royal United Services Institute. It is believed that commitments and assurances have been made by government figures to the EU. Who has made these commitments and what are they? Now, since last night's stream, they've gone bonkers, and I implore veterans and the public to keep things non-violent, and we need an urgent dialogue with Mr. Johnson and Defence Minister Ben Wallace over EU defence unification. If John Bercow becomes PM, we as a nation are finished. Well, I agree with that last bit, I tell you that. And there's always been this talk of us joining with the EU. Wait till I just bring these stories up so people can see where I'm reading from. So this was the first story here. Unity Network. And it's this veteran here. Ex-para, no less. I wouldn't mess with them, that's for sure. And then it says, see below for our latest article on the subject. And that's where it's updated. Again, it doesn't really kind of, as opposed to saying there's documents and things, he's saying it has been spoken about. And I imagine it has been spoken about. See, this all ties in with that whole super state thing. And if you have a super state, you bring the forces together as well so that it's got one force, right? So this is definitely part of their plan. But I don't know what's happening with the whole Brexit thing. That's why, you know, it's always been interesting to watch how they're going to react to that. Because there's no way they're going to let all of that, like, decades of planning and movement and organising things just slip away. And to be honest with you, when you... No, you didn't get duped. No, you didn't get duped, First World. Not at all. I don't think you got duped at all, brother. I think the guy here just kind of clarified that in the first article, he says letters have been received, okay? But then he kind of winds that back, and he doesn't take it all back. He just says there's, like, conversations. So I wouldn't say you're wrong. I wouldn't say you're wrong at all, Jason. I would say there's definitely been conversations. And here's the next thing to think about, right? And it disgusts me as an ex-soldier. And I know people don't like people that have been in the army and things like that. That's okay. But I compare the army that I was in to the army now. We'd be lucky if we could actually go out and do some kind of helping the public, and if there was floods or anything like that. The army's been decimated. And even more further on from that, it's been sprinkled with soy, man. It's been sprinkled with soy. It's like a politically correct organisation. They used to say the British Army was the best in the world, and it truly was, you know. It was at one time, but not now. So why? Why bring it down to that level? Because if you bring it down to that level, then you can justify joining forces with Germany and France and everyone else, right? Because, no offence to the army, it's no their fault, but with the cuts and everything else, no offence, but if some force was to invade us, it took 24 hours for us to send a ship up to the Murray Firth at Inverness when one of the Russian destroyers decided to come in and sit there. Just basically sat there off Inverness. And then as soon as our response ship got up there, 24 hours later, big Russian destroyer just sitting there. Took 24 hours. The British Empire that once ruled the seas, 24 hours to get one response vehicle up there. And it wasn't like some big fighter. It wasn't like a big frigate or anything like that. It was just a patrol boat. So yeah, by making the military and making the armed forces so crap now, and that's no offence to the men and women in it, far from it. In fact, they must be doing an even better, harder job now that they've had everything taken off them. You know, by doing that though, then you can justify amalgamating and creating something new. I wouldn't like it, I wouldn't agree with it, but hey, that's just my opinion. And I get it. Whoa, what was that? Well, that was the website. So we've got a couple other stories we can get to here. One funny one. And we've definitely got one that falls into the category of... But well, hang on. UK will hand over nukes to the EU. Johnny Whistles would be absolutely delighted, Chuck Bam Bam. First, do you remember that, Jason? Do you remember it when it was just sitting off Inverness, and then when it turned up, the Russians just done a big U-turn and gave them the middle finger, laughing at them, as if to say, holy hell, guys. Dang, dude. Crimea put up a better defence than this. Do you know what I mean? Telling you. Just a guy giving out some sage advice in the chat room there. I'm not going to talk about it for obvious algorithmic reasons, but good advice, my man, good advice. Lich says Mexico's army is outgunned by the drug cartel. Oh, no, that is craziness over there. That is like, wow, what the hell? That's like a different planet to me. Absolutely. I seen Armand in there. How you doing, Armand? What you saying, Armand? Armand's agreeing with somebody up here. Exactly, Jimbo. Exactly. The plan was there was never a plan in place to deal with the UK saying we want out. They honestly got that complacent that they were stuffing their faces with that many glasses of champagne and prawn vol au-vents that they lost touch with the British people to the point where they thought it would be all right. People won't vote to leave. Don't be so ridiculous. And then when we did, that's when they all started choking on their vol au-vents. First old Cameron, he had to go. He paid the price. He choked on his prawn sandwich out the door. Theresa Mayhem. Wow. What an absolute entity that is. I don't even know what pronouns. I don't even know if there's pronouns for that thing. But yeah, she was the next one to choke on her prawn sandwich and out the door. And Boris Johnson, the only reason I like Boris Johnson, it's nothing political. I just never know what he's going to do or say next on camera. The man's like a high-functioning buffoon. I'm telling you, he's like a hairless baboon. The guy's comedy gold. Do I trust him running the country? I don't trust any of them. Have you looked at them? They're all crusty, out of touch criminals. So yeah, they'll do anything they can. Anything. What else we got? Drug cartel controlled by the governments. I would say the government's more controlling the cartel. Drug cartel. No, I would say, the cartel is the one controlling the government in many cases in Mexico, especially with the different provinces. Do you know what I mean? I think the people that are put into power are put in power by the cartel and taken out of power. And we know what that means when it's cartel land, when they don't play ball. And I'm getting really annoyed with that thing popping up all the time. Dang, dude. Let's close that website down. What else have we got here? Oh, Susie, did you watch that on my channel? Did you? Scotland was done out of the independence. Watch them putting the yes in the no box. Will we? Will we go and have a little look at that? Will we? Let's see. Oh, right, there you go. There's an example of the ridiculousness in the UK. Since you've seen the headline there anyway, right? But it says here, the council charges people for a course on how to wear shoes and carry handbags. Now, before I read this, I was thinking to myself, well, obviously, because now there's a... Whoa. Thank you very much.
Donation towards drinking game.
Can we not play like a weed game? Can we not? We're going to play a drinking game one weekend, okay? I'll get myself a nice bottle of malt whiskey or something. We'll see how far I can get down it. And whatever we make on Super Chat, we'll do it live and we'll give it to whatever charity. What charities can we trust? That's another thing nowadays. Imagine living in a world where you can't even trust charities. They're the worst ones, right? So yeah, like I was saying, or like Susie was saying, Scottish independence, right? If I sort this here. Oh, this makes me sick. It makes me sick, but I remember it well. Yeah, this video here. Look at that. Nearly 250,000 views, folks.
Okay, YouTube, how's it going? Kev Baker from the Kev Baker Show here. Just yet another video.
Listen to that horrible audio. My word. 2014. Dang, dude. Dang, the memories. Just a whippersnapper. 2 seconds, hang on. Go.
Of blatant vote rigging. You're looking at a scene here from Edinburgh. As you can see in the sign here, Edinburgh. Guy here, watch what he's doing. At the desk. What is he doing? He's only filling out ballots. Oh, a nice wee sneaky look around. Anyone looking? He is meant to be Scottish. And he's actually helping to rig our futures. I can't believe this. Absolutely can't believe this. As you can see there, Aaron Dyke's messaging me. I need to get back to this, folks, but our futures, our vote has been stolen right now. Absolutely stolen. And I hope all you people that voted, no, I hope you all feel sorry for you.
Oh, yes, indeed. Kev was getting a... Then there's another one. Yep.
Okay, YouTube. Kev Baker from the Kev
This is the one that Susie's on about.
Baker show here on this historic night right here in Scotland. The referendum results live. I've just finished a 3-hour broadcast with myself, John Sinclair, Martin Hardy, Doc Waterman, Nano Girl, Kenneth Webb and AndyAndology.com. And we were discussing how
Blackouts in Dundee too, Kev. I was up there.
Remember the bin bags in Glasgow as well? The guy found a bin bag full of yes votes behind a bin up on Duke Street. Duke Street's 5 minutes from me. They were literally dumping votes. Up my mum's way, she was counting the votes up in Dingwall. And the post van that was carrying a big, huge swathe of votes just crashed on the way there, and it was counted without those votes attached, and it swung one way and where it would have swung another if they'd counted the votes. I tell you, talk about shenanigans. I've never seen it so in your face.
well, myself and John were discussing how what we've been seeing on the streets with the amount of blue and white and yes banners, it doesn't seem to be translating in the early results coming through in the referendum. We got into this.
Listen how serious I am there. Dang, Kev, you were so wrapped up in that political madness, man. Dang, dude.
Subject of vote rigging and stuff like that. And I want to show you this clip here sent to me by a very good contact over in Texas. Texas looking on at Scotland. Hopefully we will inspire them to take up the fight as well. And
Hodgod says, Senior Bush and Colonel Oliver North visited a cocaine plantation and ruled the cartels. Ex-CIA operative Chip Tatum was involved in the shipping. Bro, I've had Chip Tatum on my show. And it's one of the most memorable moments ever because Chip was one of the guys that was flying the planes in and out of Mena, Arkansas, and down in South America. And he said, I remember it plain as day, he's like, I knew that there was like stuff in the back of the plane. Whoa, another one. Whoa, folks.
Great show, Kev. Everyone have a blessed week.
Thank you, Philip. And I still don't remember pulling those faces when I made that video. It's utterly disturbing. Did they deep fake me? Remember? Yeah, maybe. But Chip Tatum. So that was fine, and we were talking away about all of it, Hod. And it got to one part in the interview, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a bona fide, like, real life, like, CIA asset, like, spook, dude. And I remember, I don't even know, I grew a set of kahunas and I said, so, how many people have you killed? And there was like this, it seemed like an ungodly silence. It was great radio. And just matter of fact, just nonchalantly dropped into 17. And then went back to talking what he was talking about. Tell you, that's one moment out of 1,202 episodes that I remember plain as day. I can remember the mic I was using. I tell you that. You remember it when you hear that on air. I'm telling you, wow, that was some show, honestly. And Philip, thank you so much, brother.
they can secede from their union. But check this out, folks. What you're about to see is you'll see a pile of alleged yes votes here, no votes here, and just watch what the counter does with them. This is the kind of thing that could be going on widespread. We've already had the police taking away some voting slips because of people voting twice. We've had fire alarms going off in Dundee where there's about to be a huge swing to the yes campaign. Watch this. Watch this pile. There's a no pile here, takes one off, picks up near enough the full pile, puts it onto the no vote.
And I think in the run-up to the next Scottish Parliament election, independent or otherwise, there's got to be a clear intent amongst all the political parties.
Busted. Absolutely busted wide open. This isn't the only example of this, folks. Keep your eyes open, because this is being rigged. There's certainly elements of this that are being rigged. That there, it's blatant. We're seeing piles.
Oh, I can't listen to myself anymore going on like that. Dang, Kev. I got well excited there, didn't I? Yeah, that was back in the day, eh? September 18th, 2014. I remember myself and Christopher Everard. We'd been doing shows for the week building up to the referendum, and he kept talking about the 4951 scam. And that's where you get somebody just beating the other side. And what did the referendum finish? Yep, 4951. Couldn't make it up. Could not make it up. Ah, the memories, eh? We should have medals for like the things that we lived through online. I remember the time when I was catching videos of that vote rigging stuff going on. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, Hod God, it's not so much a great story, it's just I remember that. It's like, wow. Wow, cold. Our lovely CIA. Yeah. CIA. Listen, Cherry, you're so right. Listen, if voting worked, they wouldn't let us do it. They just wouldn't let us do it. They wouldn't. There's no way they would take that kind of potluck, random chance every 4 or 5 years. They just wouldn't. Philip, it's rampant everywhere, brother. Absolutely everywhere. And that Cambridge Analytica, there's a part in the documentary, The Great Hack, where... Oh, you're so kind.
Keep keeping it real. Here's for a good coffee, smiley face.
You're so kind. And you're down in Birmingham, right, Miss Space Cake? I think you said that one time. Do you know you live in the luckiest area in the UK? There's more millionaires been made by the National Lottery down there in Birmingham than any other part of the UK. There you go. Disinteresting fact. There you go, yeah. So what were we talking about before that came in? Oh, damn. Yeah. Cambridge Analytica, The Great Hack. That documentary shows that you don't even necessarily have to rig the election. There's other ways of doing it. If you can convince like the youngsters that both parties are corrupt as hell and there's no hope, then by making a group of people not vote, you pave the way for somebody just to walk into power. So there's so many different ways that they can manipulate these things, that even if it's not at the ballot box, and now especially with big data and the internet, this one that's coming up in the UK right now, this general election, this is going to be you're going to see companies, not Cambridge Analytica, they're not there anymore, but big data is going to be used by all these parties. And just pay particular attention to your Facebook and your Twitter feeds. Because Twitter says they're not getting involved in the whole political ads thing, stuff like that. But we know Facebook skews our feeds. And we know Facebook are like that when it comes to working with governments. So what political party might they lean towards? They'll just do it for the money. They'll help all of them. They don't care, you know. All of them are controlled anyway, right? So it's the way it works. But watch for it. That's the way it's going to roll. And I'm still interested to see... Hang on, see if I can find it here. So that makes sense. Nicola Sturgeon. You've all seen Nicola Sturgeon, right? She's like the leader of Scotland. And there's a like comedy act up in Scotland called the Crankies. Now, the Crankies, they always do pantomime at this time of year, leading up towards Christmas. And Nicola Sturgeon, she's obviously going to have the general election coming up. Well, I don't know how Nicola Sturgeon's going to manage this, because she's obviously going to have to like multitask or get Geordie Rose to build like a synth version of her. Because Nicola Sturgeon already leads a double life as one of the Crankies, a little comedian that looks just like this. Please come up on my screen. Don't do that to me. Come on, Cranky, get on there. Oh, wait till I get the picture. I'll get another one, folks. There's the Crankies and Nicola Sturgeon there. Tell me they're not doppelgangers, folks. Nicola Sturgeon on the left, I think. Cranky on the right. Tell me. Now, how the hell is Nicola Sturgeon going to do pantomime and run for election at the same time? Look at that. It's uncanny, isn't it? I'm telling you. Doppelganger. Absolute doppelganger. Cherry, she's way worse than that. Kev, I like how you can't be too serious. I just can't. Wouldn't be me if I was serious. It just wouldn't. But yeah, there you go. She does look like her. Absolutely, she looks like her. I'll tell you somebody else she looks like as well. Give me a second and I'll bring it up. Hang on now. I'm telling you. Nicola Sturgeon must absolutely hate me. And yeah, in a country so small, I do expect that she's probably been briefed on this little guy in Glasgow that absolutely despises her. Wait till I find the one now. Wait till I find it. Yeah, there it is there. There it is there. I definitely think there's a look here. There's a look going on here. Hang on now. Let's bring it up. And I don't mean to be offensive to apes, but there's definitely a look going on there, man. There's definitely a look. Definitely a cranky, but she also looks like an extra from the Planet of the Apes. She doesn't actually look like that. That's not her. I'm confident in saying Nicola Sturgeon didn't play her, but at the same time, I would say Nicola Sturgeon would play a wicked Planet of the Apes character. I don't know. It's just got to that point in the stream where I want to keep classy today, Kev. I don't do... did I miss something? Yes, I get it now, Cherry. You don't want to say something that wouldn't be ladylike. I get it. I get it. See? She looks like Meghan Markle. No danger. She wishes she looked like Meghan Markle. Michael Tazarian, Architects of Control. Important info on how humanity has been manipulated for centuries. Absolutely. Yep. Edward says this guy drank too much and was complaining that he blew chunks all night long. His buddy says, no wonder with how much you drank. And the guy replies, you don't understand. Chunks is my dog. Woof woof. Dude, come on. Oh, I don't know, Edward, I don't know. Without swearing about... Cherry, where are you from? Are you a fellow Scottish person? Because I feel that only Scottish people, I tend to find only Scottish people feel so passionately about Nicola bloody Sturgeon. Or as I prefer to call her, Norman Sturgeon. This is the chick that got married to her boss in the SNP. Why did she get married to her boss? Because the boss hired one of these like spin doctor PR gurus and said, listen, you need to take Nicola there. Nicola, who looks like a raging feminazi with the short hair and donkey jacket and welly boots on and stuff like that. You need to make her family friendly and electable. And they took one look at her and said, and I'm not even making this up, folks. They took one look at her and said, you kidding us on? You can't make her like family friendly. The only thing you could do, and she's not going to be willing to do it, obviously, because of what she's into, is you'd have to be a family person. You'd have to get her married off. Who's going to marry her? Oh, okay then. The boss done it. Not even making it up. Not even making it up. And if she can't even be honest about her identity, yet she's confusing children all over Scotland about theirs, oh, I just think there's a whole different level of evil to going on with that one. Absolutely. Not that I feel strongly about Nicola. You see why I don't talk about them anymore? You see why I don't talk about these people that anger me? Blah. Cherry has lots of Scottish friends. Yep. You see, I that encourages me that people that aren't even Scottish can appreciate how horrible a little beastie she is. That's terrible. Honey Badger has a friend watching with her. Awesome. Hello, friend. What's your friend's name? I'll give your friend a shout out. There you go. Not that it's anything special to get a shout out from Kev, but you know. I know Angela Constance, Kev. Dang, dude, you're going to have to educate me, legend. Tell me who that is. Is that her ex-girlfriend or something? How cool would that be? Kev Baker show that does all the weird paranormal stuff, and time to time we get the big guests on. Imagine we got like the secret lover of Nicola Sturgeon on the show. Totally with you, Kev. She's a beastie. Yes, indeed. I tell you the truth. You don't have to remember anything. Mark Twain. Awesome, Lich. Awesome. Irish English. Oh, we like the Irish. Scots and the Irish get on. 2 peas in a pod. Shoes incoming. No, King. No shoes. Nah. No shoes. No shoes. Come on. Terrible. Take a look round though, just in case. Who'd sleep with her? No. Precisely, dude. Precisely. Nobody ever had the cranky on their wall as a sex symbol. Same goes with Nicola Sturgeon. You ain't got anyone in Scotland acting over Nicola Sturgeon the way I act over AOC. It just doesn't happen. Have you ever seen an SNP conference? It really does look like some kind of casting call for Clown World. It does. It does. Ah, she's Sturgeon's pal. Me like. Me likey, me likey. Still waiting to see who Honey Badger's friend is. Oh, Crochet Nut. Is that her name? Awesome. Big shout out to Crochet Nut. I like that name. That's pretty cool. Wasn't what I was expecting at all. See, you look at some people, you just didn't see you as a crochet nut. No, Nicola Sturgeon, man, dang. I'll probably get taken away to some like EU black site. Scotland gives everything to the EU. You know, that plight that they have towards getting us independent and then signing us up to the EU. Don't start me. What did the paranormal portal say? She might actually be a cryptid. I swear to you, dude. I swear to you. I'm going to have to go and find the Photoshop I done. Where I literally, like, merged the face of that there. Well, I took the hair of that there and put it with Sturgeon. It was uncanny, dude. She's got the same kind of Lantern John things going on. If you've seen her out, like, near the banks of Loch Ness, you'd probably rather take your chances with a monster. That's the kind of shit we're talking about. How can I leave? You want to leave? Don't leave. It's not that bad. Constance spoke on behalf of the SNP the morning after the BBC. Huh. EU will not let the Brits leave. Too much money will be lost. Exactly. Exactly. Give England back to the English. I don't really think there's many English want to hold on to Scotland. The ordinary people, I don't think they give two hoots, you know? So yeah, I've got one funny story before we go today. See the things, I don't know. Like, I know that YouTube has provided a platform for the likes of people like me to come and do what I do. And I mean, we've got, what, usually 150 odd people in here, 168 today, that's great. Sometimes we have a laugh, sometimes we get serious. Tomorrow we got Scotty Lopez on, you know, and it lets me do my thing. And listen, I would never, ever, ever dare call myself anywhere near any level of famous, okay? It'd be outrageous. However, the internet has given a platform for anyone to become famous in their own little way, shape and form. But at times you see certain kind of approaches to becoming famous. You think to yourself, oh, come on. Surely not, right? And I tell you what, I never thought I'd see the day that you'd have somebody quitting work to concentrate on their YouTube channel. Now, I didn't quit work like myself voluntarily. Health issues, I don't talk about it. I don't do pity parties. That ain't what I'm here for. But I ended up YouTube. Here I am, right? So I'm not criticizing it. But I never thought I'd see the day that somebody quits their job just to eat takeaways on YouTube. I'm not shitting you, folks. Somebody is just going to sit there eating takeaways on YouTube. And yeah, she looks like the kind of girl who likes her takeaways, right? So here we go. Says a woman has quit her full-time. And no, that wasn't fat shaming anybody. I just said she looks like the kind of girl that enjoys her takeaways. What's wrong with that? I'm telling you, a woman has quit her full-time job so she can focus on eating Chinese takeaways and McDonald's on request. I get it, we've got a cool chat room thing going on here, right? But who the hell actually like, oh, I need to go and see somebody eating a Pizza Hut? Oh, make it a stuffed crust. What is that all about? What level of dodginess is going on in these minds? So it says, Charna Rowley, 22, films herself eating around 5,500 calories per meal and posts the footage onto YouTube. So it says, around 40,000 followers tune in to watch her enjoying food ranging from Greg's to Pizza Hut. Charna quit her previous job as an admin worker and currently supports her eating with a part-time warehouse job which she took in order to have more time for the videos. Now in the future, her aim is to become the UK's first mukbang star, cashing in on a trend that started in South Korea where people binge on camera while chatting to the audience. Her ultimate aim is to work up to eating 100,000 calories in one sitting.
What's up guys, it's your girl Sha Nation and you're watching Shana's Nation. Today I'm here with Anando's
That's a big plate of food there, folks.
mukbang and I ordered it at home. It just came. I'm really excited to eat. Let's just get into it.
Whoa! She is going for it. Get it down, you girlfriend. Oh, did I assume that she's a girl? Damn. Oh.
Bang. Seeing as you guys loved the last one so much.
Yeah, because, like, if people weren't watching you, you wouldn't be eating that anyway. I suspect you might already have had that anyway. It's kind of loud, right? Dang, dude. No wonder she's wanting to eat. That music must be scaring her. Neil. Oh.
McDonald's, and we've got wings from a really good chicken shop in Princeton Park.
So yeah, I don't want to watch too much more of that. We get the idea. There's only so much eating you can watch, folks. We know what you do. But yeah, there we go. Looking absolutely at the top of her game there. That's like some action shot, isn't it? It's like ESPN said, right, we want the action shot. Takeaway in each hand. Ambidextrous. She's showing absolutely amazing agility there. Amazing agility. And look at this. Not only that, but she's got the next round ready to go. She's also got lubricant on the side here. Look at this. This is a professional, folks. This is a... Who watches this, said Stephanie Green. Allegedly 40,000 people. Can you believe it? It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? But yes, get some chicken down you, indeed. So many of her friends feature her boyfriend of 8 months. I thought that was a chick. Dang, dude. Oh, well. Oh, see, I'm not cut out for this new world at all. Many of her videos feature her boyfriend of 8 months who eats along with her and vlogs under the name Trans King. Is he one of these dudes that, like, feeds his woman? What's that? Have you seen that kind of thing? I've seen documentaries on that. It's like, they just want to feed the woman all the time. I don't know what it's all about. It's like death by food. They're just, and the woman's... And I suppose it works the other way around as well. It's just a documentary I've seen. Strange stuff. Hey, but hey, listen, I ain't criticising it. The two, you get consenting adults doing what you want to do. Ha, none to do with me. The couple who live together appear side by side eating chicken and Chinese and have no plans to stop. Not until one of them explodes. So Charna from London said, I've just got to show how confident I am. I might get something stuck in my tooth or about my mouth, but people love how funny I am. I have the negative ones telling me how fat I am. Listen, I'm not criticising any of this. I'm not criticising the girl's size or anything. I'm just saying that this is weird. I didn't think there would be a place for binge eating food. Who is that audience? I have the negative ones telling me how fat I am, how I could be really pretty if I try. I think you're already pretty. Not to eat so much, but most of them all the time, I just don't answer. I enjoy it, and it gives me confidence. And now that I can monetize my channel, I really respond to people's requests that it can become a full-time career. Yep. Dang, dude. That, I just don't know. 23 likes. I don't know. 1,000 followers. That's not that much, really, is it, over on Instagram or whatever? Charna weighs 16 stone, but insists her 4 gym sessions a week keep her health in check. Eating on camera has boosted her self-esteem, and she says she enjoys fulfilling people's suggestions of what to go for next. Listen, if she's getting a boost in self-esteem from it, again, I just find it strange, that's all. My mum, Marsh, 45, works for Royal Mail, and she initially saw it as a hobby, but once she saw my passion, yes. Like some Tasmanian devil, food flying everywhere, man. I don't know. I just get this image in my head. That was managing to get, she changed her mind. Yes, my lovely, I'm so proud of you. You one day are going to be an Olympic eater, my friend, yes. She might have once seen it as a backup plan, but now she thinks I should go for it while I'm young and I have the opportunity. It's all about finding balance. And if it gets worse, I get called as chubby. I don't care enough about the trolls to stop doing it. And good for you. Good for you. That's one thing. Don't worry. Trolls. So far, she has spent £1,000 on funding 2 videos a week, which each lasts just under half an hour. The biggest one, or the biggest hit, was the one of her eating Chinese takeaway, which views 46,000 times. That's about 46,000 times more than our videos get viewed here, folks. So there's people out there watching it. Commenting on our videos, one fan said, "You make me appreciate food so much. I love it." So she has a Chinese chips, chicken chow mein, a bag of prawn crackers, sweet and sour chicken balls, special fried rice, spring rolls, and I feel absolutely stuffed just reading that out. Blooming heck, folks. I don't know. Anyone watch that LA Beast? He does like crazy eating challenges over on YouTube, but I've never known like this thing. Well, look at that buffoon. Look at him, you absolute buffoon. Do you think he goes to the same barber as Donald Trump? Looks it. But yeah, quit your job to go eating food on YouTube. Who knew? Yes, and Ms. Space Cake, I love you too. And we're getting close to that time anyway, because now I need to start looking forward and getting the serious head on for tonight, because we're going to be joined by Bill Bean in hour number 2 of the show. And Bill has recently gone to visit one of our very own, who's a family that listens to the Kev Baker show. And you see, that this really reminds me why I do keep coming back and doing this time and time again. And, you know, some people will say, "Oh, come on, that guy's not that serious. You're wasting your time with him. He's just having a laugh and everything else." And yeah, I do have a laugh, but there's a time to be serious as well. But, you know, in a world where there's so many problems out there, this is one time, and there's been a couple of occasions now, but this is one time where I've literally been told by the people involved that if it wasn't for this show, that family would still be in a dark place today, because they had never heard of Bill Bean. And they had been and tried so many other charlatans and liars and con men in the past that they had given up hope of anyone genuinely being able to help them at all. So it's thanks to this show, networks like TFR, that we are able to change the world of other people. Remember what I've been saying? You can't change the world, but you can change somebody else's world around them. And it's not to say, "Oh, look at us, look what we done." No, but it just shows you that in amongst all the laughing, in amongst all the comedy, everything else, there is a serious side to it, and we literally are helping people. And I don't think you can ask for any more than that. I don't make any big, bold promises about what I can and can't do on here. Don't tell you I'm going to solve the mysteries of the universe. But at times, it does appear that we do provide the information that people not only are seeking, but literally need in their own lives. So that's why I'm really, really happy with everything right now. Last night, speaking to the person that's going to be coming on with Bill today, kind of confirmed a lot of things. It's been a lot of work in recent weeks, past couple of months, building up the safe space and doing the weekend streams, doing the simulcasts and pimping out sets here, there, and it's changing a lot. But we're getting now to some more kind of structured kind of format and the look on the screen as well. And I don't know, I just want to thank all of you out there for being a part of it, because if it wasn't for all of you, I wouldn't keep going 1,202 shows, and then families out there wouldn't maybe have heard of Bill Bean, so maybe they wouldn't have got help. So in a way, it's all of you as well. We're all helping people. We're all changing little worlds of individuals around the world, and maybe if we can just change enough, maybe that's the secret to it all, right? Stop thinking so big and just try and help one person at a time in any way, and I think that's what it's all about. So then, let's have a look what people are saying. Lots of love hearts there for Bill Bean, no wonder. Many here have experienced the woo firsthand, absolutely. And I like to think this is a place where you can share that woo without fear of anyone judging you, I'd like to think that in our little woo cave that we have here. Yeah, I like it. I'm enjoying things. The memberships, that's just the added bonus, the old VIP safe space at the weekend. Well worth getting home in time, says Susie. Awesome. That's the one thing I worry about all the time. Every stream I start, every show I do on TFR, that's the one thing I hope never goes wrong. That by the end of it, you're sitting there thinking, wow, that was a waste of time. Even if by the end of it, you think to yourself, I don't agree with half of the things Kev said in there. That's okay. That's cool. In fact, that's healthy. But, to waste people's time, oh, that'd be horrendous. Horrendous. Congratulations on 1,200. I didn't even realise it. And if Paranormal Portal's still in here, that was the 1,200 show. It was like the universe lined up a huge show for me. Maybe so that I would pay attention and see what episode number it was. But no. Absolutely Paranormal Portal. Anytime you're on any of your favourite YouTube channels, folks, hit the like button. Leave a comment, even if it's just to say very good or a couple of words. It might not seem like much to you, might seem insignificant, but it helps so much in the algorithm. And I urge you all to do the same for Paranormal Portal out there. And also my good friend Jason. Let's have a look at Jason's channel. Is he still in here? I want to see if he's up at 100 yet. I'm sure he is, but just so we can see. And Paranormal Portal, you might want to check out, Jason. You might want to check out this channel. Where is it? There he is. 108 subscribers. Absolutely fantastic. And Brent, the reason I say you might want to check this out is because you capture footage like this. Oh.
I had a red one. Whoa, having lots of orbs next to me then. I had a red one. Yeah. Whoa, having lots of orbs next to me then.
Yeah, big red orbs, Brent. I think you probably want to... Oh, no, I've not even got the main screen on. Here we go. I've done it again, folks. Thank goodness Anne isn't in. I should be absolutely torturing me right now. So, yeah, this is Jason's channel. Rookie mistake, folks. Rookie mistake. Here we go. Check this out, Brent. So you can see it now, folks. Watch up this side, the right-hand side. Yeah, I failed. I know. That's twice I've done that on the stream now. It's because my browser goes over the top of Streamlabs. So I just assume that everybody's seeing the same as me. I at least assume that. And yeah, if anyone wants to get in touch with me, go to email me at kbsdiscord@protonmail.com. That's kbsdiscord@protonmail.com. Anne is now in the Discord server. Yes, my very own shy, very, very shy Anne is in the Discord server. This is a big day, folks. A very, very big day. Yeah, it's the same video from First World, Philip. Absolutely. This is the one that I've been blown away by, the red orb one. I'll drop the link in the chat room for people as well. It's right at the right timestamp. Maybe put it back a couple of seconds, but there it is, yeah. So, Brent, definitely we've got a little budding paranormal investigator on our hands. Definitely. Lots of good information that we can share when it comes to all that stuff. But yeah, email me over at the Proton Mail, kbsdiscord@protonmail.com. And you too can join in there. It's totally free to be on the Proton Mail. Obviously, that's free. Imagine email made you pay to send an email. That'd be horrendous. But no, the Discord server is entirely free, folks. It's if you like the chat room here, it's basically just the chat room 24/7. That's basically it. I can't put it any other way than that. That really simplifies it. And of course, if you want to drop me any show tips, any topics, guests, anything like that, kbsdiscord@protonmail.com. I'll be back tonight. I'll be all spruced up. I'll have the shirt on. I'll be looking good. The professional Kev Baker show approach. Not that I don't take this seriously, but you know me. This is where we kind of chill out together. You get the real Kev Baker here. Unplugged, uncut, uncensored. Yes, indeedy. Probably shouldn't do this show because any guests that come to check out what the show's all about, they're undoubtedly going to check this out and they'll think that guy is crazy. Crazy AF. Yes, indeedy. So until later, and we'll be getting into all the paranormal kind of poltergeist kind of stuff in the first hour tonight, building up and preparing for Bill Bean coming on. We may open the phones in the second segment of the show. Don't know after last night. Whoa. Yeah, you see, it's always perilous opening up the phones. You just don't know where things are going to go. And yes, I'm disappointed in myself for the way I handled specific calls last night. But it's a learning curve, right? A big learning curve. So I think the best way to deal with that is to get right back on the horse, so to speak, and go again. So I'll be back at 10 p.m. in the UK, 5 p.m. on the East Coast, 2 p.m. on the West Coast. And that is on tfrlive.com, simulcasting right here on YouTube as well. But please remember to visit tfrlive.com, the home of the Kev Baker Show, the home of Freaky Friday, the home of the Paranormal Portal, and it's where you get your protection from deception, tfrlive.com. So for another safe space, be very quiet on your way out the door. Don't want people to be sensorily kind of offended, their sensory system. So keep it quiet, jazz hands, if you did like today's performance. And we'll be back tomorrow. And I'll have Scott Lopez here to put on a very nice fingerprint or finger paint display. We'll get into fractals. I'm only joking, folks. But my main point is I'll be back tomorrow as well for the safe space, okay? It's one of those days where I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to have to go and rewire my brain, get the other Kev out, get Serious Kev plugged in, and get him ready for Bill Bean. And what I'm calling tonight... What did I call tonight's show? That's a good point. What did I call it? Let's check. Hang on, folks. What a rookie mistake. I had a good name for it too. Really good name for it. It's in here somewhere. Please tell me I set up that stream, and I can give you the link as well while we're here. Did I set up that stream? Casting Out Demons, that was it. A great name as well. Now, come on, the hairy hands aren't to be mistaken with the jazz hands, or are they jazz hairy hands? Is that the way the kind of, is it from the upside down? Is that what they are? That's what it is, isn't it? We've sussed it. Those hands are quality. The hairy hands just got even better, right? Because if they're from like another realm, then it's the upside down, like Stranger Things. And if jazz hands are like that, that means hairy jazz hands would be like that. So yeah, we've got the hairy jazz hands. Now I've dropped no, not that. I've dropped the vid. No, hang on, folks, hang on. Bear with me. My word, Baker, what is going on here? There's the link. There's the link there. Copy link. Woketopia. Yeah. There's the link, my brother Jason. There it is there. Yes. Indeed. So that's later on today. I'll be with Bill Bean. So, folks, thank you for your time. Remember to keep searching for the woo. Keep the minds open, but not to the point where the brain turns to black goo. Later, folks. And Bill Bean, hour number 2. You don't want to miss this one. This story, I haven't heard all of the details yet because I wanted it to be raw tonight. But Bill told me I need to hear this. Our listeners, the family that was involved, told me I need to hear this. And that means all of you need to hear it too. So then, until tonight, you have a good one. Keep it real. And I'll be back later, as always. Yeah, Hod God, if you're seeing something at the bottom of the bed, that sounds pretty much like a shadow dude or some kind of incubus, succubus. Hashtag woo, not goo. Hashtag woo, not goo. Oh, hashtag AOC. Remember, join me later on tfrlive.com or right here on YouTube. We will be simulcasting. Hour number 2, Bill will be with me. But in hour number 1, it'll be me building up to the Casting Out Demons show. Oh, yes.